This we studied in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, in the beginning itself, where it is said that when you realize the Atman, you go beyond the gods, beyond Indra. But therefore the gods are afraid that you may go beyond them. They put obstructions on your way. That's what you find in your spiritual life. So many obstructions come. They put it metaphorically that these gods do not want you to go beyond them by knowing the Atman. So put obstructions in your way. But if you are firm, you can break through all this and realize the Atman. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad has spoken about it earlier. Great effort. There can be no other human objective superior to this. You can find out what can be superior to this. Your own infinite nature, to realize it. Not to attain a few little money by robbing somebody. That is a great achievement. We think this achievement, nobody cares. And so, Shankara says in the commentary, this is the greatest achievement of a human being. That is the supreme uniqueness of the human being. Other things he shares with animals, other things are his own, but among all his achievements, the greatest is that he can realize his own infinite self. This is the nature of human uniqueness at its highest and best. This I referred to previously through a shloka quoted from Srimad Bhagavatam. Very beautiful shloka. In fact, this has been the theme in that book, Science of Human Uniqueness, Vikram Sarabhai Memorial Lecture in Ahmedabad last February. In that lecture, I quoted that Bhagavata verse, the supreme uniqueness of the human being consists in this, that he can realize that infinite Brahman from which he and the universe have come. He can realize that in this very body, that capacity nature has given to you. There is a wonderful slogan, Srishtva Purani Vividhani Ajayatma Shaktiya Vrikshan Sarisrupa Pashun Khagadamsha Matsyan Taisthai Ratushta Hrutaya Manajam Vidhaya Brahmavaloga Dhishnam Mudamapa Devaha. A beautiful verse. That supreme being, when he decided to project this universe, not create, but project this universe from within oneself. The whole world has come from Brahman. Vedanta doesn't speak of creation, but projection. Srishti means project. So, deciding to project this universe from within oneself. He was alone in the beginning. There was no second thing. So that concept of being alone comes in modern astronomy in a singular word, singularity. The state of singularity. All the diverse energies and forces become resolved into a singular state in that background material which explodes to create the universe. That is astronomy. So the word singularity comes there from this point of view. Brahman felt, I am alone. Let me be many. Egoham bahusyam. Suppose that ultimate reality could speak. He will speak like this, I am one. Let me be many. A play, just a little play. Then return back everything to oneself. And so, he created so many bodies. He entered into each one of them. Tiny insects, from amoeba onwards, then fishes. All these details are given there. Srishtva Purani. Pura means a city. This body is considered like a Pura. There is the master, the Maharaja, sitting in the center of the heart. He is the ruler of the whole body. Similarly is this body. Srishtva Purani Vividhani. Diverse. Millions of species of things have been created in the universe. Ajaya Atma Shaktiya. By that supreme unborn Brahman, by his own Shakti, by his own energy, Atma Shaktiya. What are they? Pakshin, Surasrava Pashun, Khaga, Damsha, Matsyan. Birds, these biting insects, and Matsya, fish. He created all these. Taisthai Ratushta Sudaya. Looking around, he was not quite satisfied by these kind of projections. And then he projected the human form, Manijam Vidhaya. Ultimately, he projected a human form. And He became immensely happy. This Brahman became immensely happy. Why? Brahma avaloka tishanam. This form can rediscover me in oneself. No other form can rediscover me. I can rediscover myself through this human body. Through no other body can I rediscover myself. What a beautiful conception, that this human body has the capacity to realize that source from which the whole universe has come, including yourself. What a tremendous possibility it is. That's the meaning of Brahmajnana. Brahman, the ultimate reality from which the whole universe has come, in which it lives, unto which it returns. That Brahman is at the back of your own consciousness as the infinite one, waiting to be discovered by you. When you spend effort in that direction, you advance, and one day you realize the truth. I have realized Brahman, you can say. I have realized Brahman, the ultimate reality. And when you realize Brahman, you realize the all. Brahman is the all. Everything in the world is nothing but Brahman in some form or the other. Everything in the solar system is solar radiation in some form or the other. Similarly, when you realize Brahman, you realize the all. That is why Upanishad presents Brahman sa sarvajnaha sarvavit. Brahman is sarvajna. He knows everything. How can A know everything? A, B, C, D, all of them. How is it possible? Only on one condition. Because he is the all, therefore he can understand all. Sarvanta ta cha tat nyascha sarvajna. He is both sarvam and jna, means knower. Because he is the all, he knows all. That is perfectly correct. That is how Brahman is considered to be sarvajna. The whole universe is his own body. Therefore he knows everything that is here. What a wonderful concept of Brahman it is, of the nature of pure consciousness, infinite, non-dual. So that is Brahman. That Brahman is at the back of your own mind. That we have to realize. That is the goal of human life. Nothing higher this can be. So Brahma Vidya is Sarva Vidya Pratishtha. Chandogya Upanishad said, the basis of every other science is the science of Brahman, the ultimate reality. Brahman in parts, in tidbits, you see through physical science. You study any physics or chemistry, botany, everything, they are all studying Brahman in various manifestations. But Brahman as a whole, you can realize only by turning away the sense organs of the mind from the external to the internal. And there you discover the infinite, the immortal, present in your own self. That is your true nature. You are that, you are that, you are that. This has been explained in various ways in all the Upanishads, Vivekananda and other books. The beautiful idea that the goal of human evolution, the whole world is going towards that. I am also going towards that. I did not wait till the world will go back to Brahman. That will take 20 million years before the world goes back to Brahman. I can go now because I have the organic capacity to do so. So a human being is unique only because Brahma avaloka tishanam. He has the capacity, tishana, to realize Brahman in this very body. Brahma avaloka tishanam. That this petty little body can yield such immense result. That is something wonderful. That is real cleverness. That is real intelligence. That is what the Shastras say. Eta esha buddhimatam buddhi. Manisha cha manishinam. This is the buddhi of the buddhimata, the one who has buddhi. This is the manisha of one who has manishi. What is that? Yat satyam. That satyam. Anurtena iha. In this world, through that is not satyam, namely the body. Apnoti. You realize that. Without not being real, this body, you utilize it as an instrument, realize what is truth. What can be more intelligent and more manisha or wisdom than this? That is the famous slogan. Esha buddhimatam buddhihi, manisha cha manishinam, yat satyam anurte neha, satyena apnoti ma amritam. I who am the immortal, hidden in the heart of all beings, me they discover through this asatya vastu called the body. The truth that is supremely truth, that is myself, that is intelligence, that is wisdom, says that sloka. So here, he says, he stayed for another 5 years. They became 101. Then to him he said, great effort. Maghavan, O Indra, this body is indeed mortal. First sentence. Clarity is coming now. From the teacher to the student, he found the student can understand the pure truth. Maghavan, martyam va idam shariram. Martya is the word for mortal. Even the English word mortal comes with Sanskrit martya, and amartya is immortal. Atam mrityuna. It is caught by death. It is the grip of death. Atam mrityuna. Tadasya, amritasya, asharirasya, atmano, adhishtanam. It is only an adhisthana of that Atman which is immortal, fearless, and non-dual. It is an adhisthana only. Don't identify both. That I spoke earlier also, that this genetic system cannot yield any values. Truth, love, compassion, service, nothing can come from the genetic system because it is entirely selfish. I quoted the book, The Selfish Gene by Richard Dawkins. So, genetically, it is all self-centered. Love and concern come from a deeper source. That is the Brahman that is hidden from you, in you. From that Brahman, a little influence comes that becomes morality, ethics, etc. So it is within yourself that you must seek for the source of values, moral, ethical, and humanistic and spiritual. Anything embodied is within the range of the desirable and the non-desirable. Any embodied thing in the world, some you may like to have, some you may not like to have. That is, surely that for which remains embodied, there can be no elimination of the desirable and the undesirable. This desirable self that is caught in the body, attached to the body, he cannot escape desirable, undesirable. It is bound to come. But the desirable and the undesirable cannot surely touch that Atman which has become unembodied. He knows I have no body. I am bodiless. How can these touch me? These are the two things, the self and the body. Let us not confuse the two. One is in the other. It can be in the other without being attached to it. That is wonderful. You build a house, you stay in it, and you are attached to it. You are tied down to it. Then it becomes a prison. You must be free to come out. To range around here and there. Go to other houses also. How are you doing? To ask. Otherwise, your house becomes a prison. Similarly, body becomes a prison if the self is not free to detach itself from the body and go out and deal with other people's problems, difficulties, etc. That is what we call citizenship responsibility today. I am not merely the father of a household. I am a member of the democratic state of India. I have got big responsibility within me. If I am to fulfill that, I must detach myself from the genetic system. What a beautiful conception, both political and spiritual. Vedanta is the union of these healthy political ideas and the most beautiful spiritual ideas. So, it has become unembodied. The Atman is not connected with the body. Sri Ramakrishna used to say, a man of spiritual realization is like a ripe coconut. You shake it, you hear the sound, kada, kada, kada. The kernel separated from the shell. You can hear. Those who have handled coconuts can easily realize the truth. But a raw coconut, it is attached to the shell. If you cut a little kernel, a little shell also comes along with it. This is ripe coconut, that is unripe coconut. That is the nature. So, the body is touched, I am not touched. The body is not myself. I am in the body. I am living in the body. That's all its function. This is very strongly presented Vedanta. In no other system is this knowledge given. We therefore, when we die, we don't keep the body. We burn it away. Finished. Its work is over. In all other systems, the body is preserved very carefully. It is preserved better after death than before death. Living people do not have good house to live. Dead people have got huge palaces like pharaohs in Egypt. All of them believed in the reality of the body. I am nothing but the body. All such systems are based upon this understanding. Only in this country, 5,000 years, we don't keep the body. As soon as the body is dead, it is finished. Its work is over. We burn it away. Thus, but suppose we had continued, like other nations, to retain the body, naturally, even the space you need, the whole of India would have been a burial ground. The whole of India. Even England, a few years ago in Parliament, the question came, sir, this burial going on, what would be left for us to live on in English soil? So they said, we advocate electric crematorium. The only way is that. Otherwise, they have to be full of dead bodies only. No place for the living. So we avoided that difficulty from the very beginning. Otherwise, you can imagine what a problem would have been now to get a house, no site, all our dead bodies lying there. They are very happy. They have gone and died. They are happy. You are living, you are unhappy. So here, this is strongly emphasized. Embodied, disembodied. As ordinary human beings, we are one with the body. We are very particular to protect it and to get everything for it. Even by cheating people, I must fatten myself. I must have nice things, nice dress, nice ornaments. I can go and rob somebody. Doesn't matter. I must have this. That's called body-centered attitude will ultimately bring about all erosion of values. You are seeing it in India today. India today is full of erosion of values. Why? Most people are body-centered. The genetic center. Nothing else. They don't know that there is something else apart from the body as its true self, ever pure, infinite. That Atman, they know nothing. And so we are getting more and more evil day by day. And today's biology confirms this, that no values can arise from the genetic system. No values can arise from external nature. It arises only from the depth of the human spirit. The capacity to love, to serve, all this comes only from within the soul of man, the Atman, ever pure, pure consciousness, that is his nature. So all this subject comes in the course of this teaching to Virojana and Indra. Here there is, in the commentary of Shankaracharya passage, 8.12.1, the body consists in its identification with the body through indiscrimination. It has identified itself with the body. It has no power of discrimination, viveka, to separate these two. So it doesn't know. The container and the contained, both are one. For such people, he says, I am that body indeed, and the body verily am I. That conclusion comes to all such people. Therefore, it is well known that by becoming sashariraha, embodied, priya-priyabhyam ataha, it comes within the grasp of the desirable and the undesirable. You become subject to these changing emotions. And sataha, for that existence, the connection with the disconnection from external things are mine. Connection with the disconnection from external things as mine. There can be no such thing. Cessation, destruction of the desirable and undesirable, which originate from the connection or disconnection with external things. This is the idea. The Gita teaching of detachment is taken out of this principle. I must first detach myself from the body and then live in the body. Keep it clean, keep it healthy, help others also to keep healthy and help each other, all that you can do. Without this first step, you can never do anything good to society. Impossible it is. So long as attachment to the body remains, you will be concerned with that only. All the gruesome evils of India today, including bride burning, all this come from attachment to one's own little body. No other body I care. I care only for this body. A man marries, then goes to another town, marries another, take all the money away. He thinks, what is happening? This body, he is a tyrant, he is under that tyranny. And no knowledge at all of something deeper within him. So, what you call, low level the mind has gone. Even the animals can never go so level. They have got a limit, their genetic system has a controls. Here we have got a genetic system which can be controlled by us, by our own desires and other things. And so the human being misbehaves in 1,000 ways because he has a little freedom. The animals have no freedom. They don't misbehave. They behave only according to the dictates of their genetic system. We have got genetic system plus some freedom. That little freedom we misuse by becoming more attached to the body and think connected with the body. So, priya priyena bhavataha prantam. Having said this, the subject continues. Therefore, this knowledge, which can be realized only by those who have given up all desires for external things, you can use them. You can't be under the control of them. That's it. Use them. Don't be dictated to by them. Who have nothing else to resort to, who belong to the class of mendicants called Paramahamsas, absolutely like a Hamsa, a swan swimming in the water, but the body is absolutely untouched by water. That kind of Paramahamsa, who have transcended the 4 stages of life, devote 4 stages, even the sannyas stage he has transcended. Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyasa. So he is Atyashrama, beyond all 4 ashramas, absolutely free. No rules apply to him. There is it. Devoted to the realization arising from the Upanishads, who are the most adorable and who are the followers of the tradition established by Prajapati, has been presented by the Upanishad in 4 sections. Therefore, even today, it is they who teach this and not others. This is something to be taught by one who has realized this truth. A Ramana Maharshi, who has realized I am not the body, I am the pure self. He can teach and people can understand. But any and everybody cannot do it. Now, he continues. Air has no body. Light, cloud, lightning, and thunder, these are bodiless. As these, having sprung up from that sky, having reached the supreme light of the sun, become established in their own forms. Just an illustration he is taking for this particular statement. Then he says, in this very way, this tranquil one, evameva, esha, samprasado, this samprasada, this tranquil one, the one that appears at the deep sleep state, that samprasada, becomes established in his own nature after rising up from this body and reaching the supreme light, light of consciousness. He is the supreme person. So, Uttama Purushaha, language. In the Gita you have Sri Krishna being called Uttama Purushaha. It is Yasmat Saramatoham Aksharat Vijotamaha Atopi Loke Vedeja Pratita Purushottamaha. I am known as Purushottama. So here is also becomes the Purusha Uttama. Uttama Purushaha. Satatra Padyeti. He is in that state, absolutely one with everything, the whole universe. He can, moving, laughing, free. That is purely human language is used. Suppose you say, what does he do in that state? Well, we enjoy, he also enjoys. We run about, we laugh, we do, he also does it. So in order to clear the idea, it is not like death, it is full life. If enjoyment of one sense organ is good, why not 5 sense organs much better than that? Why not 10,000 sense organs better than that? Ramakrishna says, a jnani, a brahmajnani is enjoying the world with 10,000 sense organs. We are only doing with 5 sense organs. That means they are full of ananda. They are themselves the very embodiment of ananda, ananda swarupa. That is their nature. And so, this illustration, that the attainment of identification of wind, etc., with the sky, becomes identified with the body, a person who is Uttamaha, the highest person, and also Purusha, who himself becomes manifest as the person in the I. We began with the statement, the person in the I, that is Brahman. So, from the beginning to the end, it is only one infinite self that manifested in the I, as well as in the dream, in the sleep, everywhere. One infinite self, unmanifest. His organs withdrawn. This one is established in his own nature, the highest person, as compared with the perishable and the imperishable. So this is merely to be realized by the mind becoming purer and purer. The genetic tyranny over the mind we have to overcome. There is no other way. The little ego that is within us is completely under the control of this genetic system. Controls it, manipulates it, everything. Where is my freedom then? That is why this is the first lesson we have to learn. I am not a body. Sharira Buddhi must go, Vedanta says. Then higher development becomes possible. It doesn't say neglect the body. It is the container in which I am there. So long as I am there, I shall keep it clean. I shall keep it in good condition, healthy and strong. Vedanta never says neglect the body. It only says don't get stuck up in the body. Don't neglect your house. Don't get stuck up in the house. Then it becomes a prison to you. You cannot go freely out. You cannot come in freely. Then that's called a prison. So you make a body a prison of the soul. That should not do. The soul must be free to fly and mix with other souls. Feel your oneness with all. That is real freedom. So in this case, he says here, although leaving the body, shall I leave it? Continue and shall stay on. The various concepts of reincarnation have been mentioned in other chapters. Here we are now coming to an end of this statement. It says, there, when the I inheres in this space, he is the person seen in the I. When the I inheres in this space, he is the person in the I. The I is for seeing. Then the one who is conscious. Let me smell this, he says. He is the self. The organ of smell is for perceiving smell. Through all these organs, it is the Atman's energy that is manifesting, making for the capacity of the nose to smell, of the eye to see, of the tongue to taste, all these things. Yeah. He is the self. The organ of smell is for perceiving smell. Then, one who is conscious, let me utter this. He is the self. When we are awake, we speak. That's also the self. The organ of speech is for speaking. One who is conscious, let me hear this. He is the self. The organ of hearing is for audition. The self manifests through all these various instruments. But the instrument is not the self. A light can manifest through so many media. The media are not the light. That thing we forget. We connect media with the original light. Then, Athayo Vededam, he says, then one who has the consciousness, let me think this, is the self. Mind is a divine I. One who is such indeed enjoys these desirable things which are in the world of Brahman. The whole thing is full of joy. The nature of Ananda is mentioned in the next Upanishad which we will study later on. Today we shall stop here. Just only a few, 2-3 verses remain for next Sunday. And then we shall change over to another Upanishad. And the nearest to this subject is the Taittiriya Upanishad with Shankara's commentary, where you penetrate into the self through the body, through the senses, through the mind, through all this. Finally, you find the self there. The teacher takes the student step by step from matter to the higher spirit. And from the profoundest utterances of the Upanishads, you get in Taittiriya. And today's scientists will find tremendous inspiration when they study the Taittiriya Upanishad to realize the true nature of the scientist himself. He is studying matter outside. Now he is slowly turning to himself. What is this man called scientist? There he will get the best inspiration from the Taittiriya Upanishad. We shall take it up when we meet again. Next Sunday we shall meet to complete it.
Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhanaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. For those who do not know, the song that you hear just before the lecture is by Belgian devotees of Vedanta, Antwerp. Hari Om Ramakrishna. Today we come to the last few verses of the Chandogya Upanishad. Chapter 12, verse 5. 8, 12, 5. Athayo Veda idam manvaniti sa atma mano asya daivam chakshuhu sava esha etena daivena chakshusha manasa sa kaman pashyan ramate ete brahmaloke. Then one who has the consciousness, let me think this. Whenever you have that intention, let me think this. He is the self. Mind is his divine eye. One who is such indeed enjoys these desirable things which are in the world of Brahman, seeing them through this divine eye, the mind. The commentary Shankara says, one who has the consciousness is the self, has been used everywhere. Therefore it is understood that consciousness is its own nature. It is the swarupa of the Atman, not that it is a quality of the Atman. Like fire, heat or burning is the swarupa of fire, not something added to it. So, Atman, Brahman, all are of the nature of pure consciousness. Chit swarupa is the word in Sanskrit, not as a quality which can come and which can go. This is ever inseparable. As Ramakrishna said, Agni and his Dahika Shakti cannot be separated. It is one and the same. So, somebody says, that which lights up the front is the sun. That which lights up the right, the left, the north, above is the sun. Then it is understood that it is the sun. It is of the nature of light. Similarly, in the case of the Atman, as pure consciousness, which is described in the Upanishads as the light of all lights. Jyotisham Jyotihi. The light of the sun, the light of the moon, these are all derived from that one light of pure consciousness, which we call God, the Vedantic language. That is Brahman. Its light illumines the whole world. Tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. By his light, all this universe is lighted. That is the famous statement in the Kathopanishad also. Now, in his commentary he says, in the accomplishment of such actions as seeing, etc., the eyes are the instruments. They are not the source of light. They are the instruments for that light to manifest. This fact is understood from the very nature of the self. The agentship of the self with regard to consciousness follows from its mere existence. and not from its being engaged in any action. Just a light. It throws light all round. That is its nature. It is not having a struggle to do it. Nature of light is to light itself and light other things as well. This is just as the sun's being the agent of illumination by its mere presence, but not by its being engaged in that act. There is no action of lighting by consciousness. Very presence of consciousness makes for light. The word chakshu, says, and daivam, divine, derived in the sense that which is one sees. Chakshu is that through which one sees. On the other hand, the organs remain engaged with things. All these sense organs remain engaged with things that are of the present. They cannot go to the past or the future, the sense organ. Study in your own case. Ask the eye, ask the ear, ask the nose. Can you smell yesterday's smell or tomorrow's smell? No sense organ has that capacity. That capacity belongs to something behind the senses, namely the mind. The organs remain engaged with things that are of the present, and hence they are not divine. The divine spark is something deeper, above the sensory level. In fact, we are discussing this subject in many places today. All ethical, moral, and humanistic values proceed from some region beyond our sensory system. From the sensory system, you don't get any values at all. Some divine spark is within. From there, values come. Truth, goodness, service, love, peace, compassion, non-violence, all these come from a deeper source, not from the sensory source itself. We have to go beyond the senses, what you call super-sensual, trans-sensual. At the sensory level, merely survival and satisfaction, organic satisfaction. Only two things can be done from the sensory level. And all animals live at a sensory level. How to self-perpetuate, how to survive, how to continue the race. That is all the senses can do. No values can come in there. At the human level also, when we live at the sensory level, we are just like this. But a little higher level, values begin to manifest. A spirit of compassion. Let me go and help that person. Suppose you have this impulse. Know for certain you are getting a touch with a deeper reality within you, which is all positive. So all humanistic values are spiritual values, coming from the spiritual nature of the human being. They do not come from the sensory level. This I quoted the British author, The Selfish Gene, that is his book, Richard Dawkins, saying this gene on genetic system is essentially selfish, self-centered. It will use others for its own purpose. It cannot have altruism. If you want to have altruism, teach yourself altruism. Don't depend upon this sensory system or genetic system. They are essentially selfish. That's a profound statement. So those who are too much body conscious, always trying to make the body fine, they will exploit others to make their own body fine. They can't think of others or others' welfare. And too much of that attitude has come to India since independence. I. Others are only for my sake. This kind of thinking has brought us down to or near animal level. That is what you see around. So the first step to take in this is, as Dawkins said, go beyond the genetic limitation. Or as we put it, go beyond dehatma buddhi, the buddhi which says, I am the body, I am the genetic system. That buddhi must be overcome. I have something larger, something bigger in me. Then you begin moral life, spiritual life. Somebody comes to ask me for a little help. I respond to it. What can I do for you? How can I serve you? When I do so, I have transcended the limitation of my genetic system. I feel one with that genetic system. I want to feel one with him. Genetics cannot do it. Something else in you does it. That is the spiritual dimension. All humanistic values, ethical values, are essentially spiritual values. That is one great truth today's science is slowly suggesting, which has been held always by Vedanta. That's why most ordinary people can be very spiritual. Most extraordinary people may be very, very self-centered, selfish, controlled by this genetic system. Say, the bride burning and other events in India. You ask one question, what is the mind behind this? A mind controlled by this one genetic system. Nothing else is there. He cannot break through it. He can, but he doesn't care. He doesn't know it also. In this way, human growth is arrested at the genetic level, at the body level. That Vivekananda did it in the very first instance. He understood, I am the body, and he was happy. He went home, and Prajapati looked at him and said, he is going away, not understanding the truth. What truth he has gathered is dangerous for humanity. What he said is so true even today, that I am the body, nothing else. That man will be selfish, self-centered, violent, cruel, and whatnot. Anything can happen to him. Fortunately, most people have a little achievement beyond the genetic awareness. Therefore, they don't do too much evil in society. Vedanta has given this truth ages ago. It is being explained here. Mind. Mind can see what is past, what is future. Senses can see only the present. That is the one statement. Organs remain engaged with things that are of the present. But the mind is the organ for perceiving things of all the three times, past, present and future. It is free from defects, and it is the organ for the perception of everything, subtle, distant, etc. Hence it is called the divine eye. This mind is the mind that is free from thraldom to the senses. Mind is of two types. Mind that is in thraldom to the senses. That mind is just like the senses, nothing more. But the other mind, which is truly mind, free from that thraldom, it has this quality. It can see far ahead. It is divine in that sense. Hence it is called the divine eye. Divya drishti. The senses do not have a divya drishti. In the brihadaranyaka Upanishad, when we were holding the class here, I read Shankara's commentary. Seeing is of two types, worldly and spiritual. Worldly seeing comes and goes. Spiritual seeing remains always with you. Drishtihi dvividha. Says, Vyavaharika Paramarthikecha. The first one comes and goes. The other one remains. That drishti is the drishti of the Atman. Can see today, yesterday, tomorrow, but not this ordinary drishti. And so the next shloka says, Tamva etam deva atmanam upasate tasmat tesham sarvecha loka ataha sarvecha kamaha. Him indeed the gods adore as the self. Therefore all the worlds, as also all desirable things, have been attained by them. He who, having known that self, realizes it, attains all the worlds and all desirable things. This is what Prajapati said. This is what Prajapati said. When you conclude, it is repeated always. This is what Prajapati said. It is repeated twice. That is, since the self was spoken of by Prajapati, you remember in the beginning, when Prajapati made an utterance that some people heard, they went on repeating it to others.